What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And welcome to Right Body for You on A to Z.fm. I am Donnielle, your host and your body tour guide for this hour of Right Body for You. And right off, I would really like to thank all of the people who joined me this past weekend in Houston, Texas. We did a 2.5-day workshop plus a 1-day taster facilitator training day for Right Body for You taster facilitators. And, of course, the 2.5-day, the half day was also an intro. And we had a bunch of people join. It was in person and all over the world. And it was so much fun, you guys. I was so honored. And we laughed, a few tears. I think I may have even got flipped off once or twice, which, you know, we were discussing before the show started. It's only an access if people get mad at you that it's a compliment, or if people get fall asleep or something. The energy so intense, this is a compliment. So it was quite I love doing the Right Body for You workshops. It is so fun for me to see people choosing and changing and enjoying their bodies. And so thank you to everyone who came. And it was the first one with a manual, which was an interesting experience for me. 3 years of doing the 2.5-day workshop, and this is the first time I've done the workshop with a manual. And a manual kicked butt. You know, I loved it. And it was freaking cool. And so those classes from now on, the workshops will have the 2.5-day workshops will have the manual, which is just pretty dang exciting. And in this 10 seconds, that was the last one for the year, but never fear. The amazing and fantastic Lale, who also has a show here on A to Zen, is assisting me with getting my schedule together for next year, so we're all going to a bunch of fun places and spaces. But I also would like to thank Lale and Christine McIver, who also, you know, has producer, show, owner, A to Zen.fm. They hosted me, and I am so honored that they took the time to play with me. We always had a lot of fun together, so we had a great time. So thank you all who joined me in on that now or in the future, because, you know, you just never know. And, you know, and it's one of the things, it's interesting how one of the things that comes up a lot in these workshops, or in not just the Right Body for You workshops, but it tends to be any class I'm on or anything like that, is being too much. And it's funny that it does come up so much in body classes, but maybe it's not so funny. So the topic of today's show specifically is, are you willing to be too much? And then one of our greatest ways of diminishing ourselves is to limit our bodies. What if being willing to be too much was a gift to the world? Okay? And, you know, and this is actually something I'm very intimately familiar with in both of the, what this reality would say, positive aspects and negative aspects of it, both sides of the coin. The places where I was willing to be too much with my body and the places where I wasn't willing to be too much with my body. And, you know, because I am talented, sometimes I am both of them at the same time. Anybody else? Exactly. Okay. So, you know, in preparing for today's show, I was looking at this. It's like, are you willing to be too much? So I started, if you guys have ever been to a class with me or listened to a show, I like to go to the dictionary. So I'm looking up what is too much. And, you know, in the dictionary, all it came up was one too many. I'm like, not really. It's like, it's okay. So I did an internet search for too much. What was interesting is something came up called Wiktionary. I'm not sure what that is. It's like Wikipedia combined with a dictionary. Anyways, it's interesting. And so here the definition of too much when used as an adjective is not being comparable. And I really kind of like that. It's like, how often is being too much not being able to be compared to another thing? Okay? Or if you use it as a noun, unaccountable. And this is more of the energy that I'm asking you if you are willing to be today. Because it's like, what if you are willing to be too much? Would that destroy the world, or would that create the world? Okay? So I'm going to say, first, everything that is and everything that brings up should uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, nice, boys, and beyond, which is an example of the access consciousness verbal processing, which is Right Body for You, the book, me, everything, is a division of access consciousness. Okay, access consciousness is this practical set of tools and techniques that works on the energetic level that helps you change anything, any aspect of your life that you would like change in, including your life. And it's like we have pieces and parts: business, relationship, health, but it's also just, hey, you can change your life too. So Right Body for You is a division of access consciousness, and it works on the body. I know. Right Body for You. I'm sure it's a really big surprise that that's what it works on. But that's an example of the access consciousness verbal processing, which basically helps you unlock all the places and spaces where you may have created limitation, where you may have gone, yeah, that was a good idea, let's put that into play, or that's the way it has to be. And so it helps change and shift whatever energies those are, okay? So, and you don't have to know what it is for it to work. And if you'd like to learn more about it, go to theclearingstatement.com, and it's a fun little website that'll give you a whole bunch of information. So, today, are you willing to be too much? So, Wiktionary defines too much as not comparable or uncountable, which those I kind of like. It is, because it's like, this reality tells us that one of the unspoken things this reality tells us is that we cannot make another person uncomfortable, that we have to fit in. And yes, sometimes it's not so much unspoken as being told to us, but also it's don't make people uncomfortable. Don't stand out. Don't be different. Don't. Somebody in the chat room said we're all uncomfortable anyways. Amen. Don't stand out. Don't be different. Don't rock the boat. One of my favorite songs is Don Henley from the movie soundtrack Leap of Faith, and it's like, sit down, you're rocking the boat. If you guys ever heard it, it's a great song. It cracks me up. So we're told this, and we're enforced this. And so what's interesting about this, are you willing to be too much, is often it is the place, it's a description of both a positive and a negative. They can use it like, oh my gosh, you're too much, that's just fantastic. Or you are too much, stop. Okay? So everywhere we're trying to everywhere we are trying to fix and cognitively or uncognitively figure out the yin and yang of too much and what that might look like, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, smoke, nice shorts, boys, and beyond. Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, one thing he says all the time that I love, because he in Access we joke about being perverts. Okay, perverts. We are all perverts. But what he's actually referring to is the true perversion. What he says the true perversion in this reality is being different than everybody else. And so you are literally being a perversion to this reality when you are willing to be too much, when you are different than what is been determined as acceptable. Because, and it's interesting, I grew up in the Mormon culture, and I am a true perversion of how I was raised. I did not get married. I did not have children. I chose some different things. Okay, so, and what's interesting again as we talk about the duplicity of this and having the two sides, it's some people applaud me. Oh, it's a good thing that you broke out of that, and that you are your own person, and then all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Thank you, I think. And then, there's other people in the Mormon community who are like, oh, well, I'm sorry to see you've lost your way, and let me assist you to getting back. And what's funny is you really look at it, on both cases, these people are actually asking me to step in line with one way or the other. The Mormonism thing or the anti-Mormonism reality out there. Or, yes, they applaud me for being different than the Mormon that I was raised as, but I can't be too much more different, because then that would be just insane. And that's when they start locking you up. Or I can't be too much different because then it would be illegal. Or, yes, it's, the whole morality thing kind of comes in. It's interesting because it's like, okay, you can be a little bit less moral than how I was raised as a Mormon, but not too amoral or immoral, because then that would be too. So it's like where they're in the middle, a fine line. And, and let me say again, I'm not saying anything negative about the Mormon community. I was raised in it. I was great. There's a lot of great values, and I was very grateful. I was raised in the Mormon community, and I'm also grateful I'm in all communities. So everything that brings up to Story Not Created, Right, Wrong, Good, Bad, Papa, My Choice, Boys, and Beyond. And so it's like, what? Everywhere you've defined too much as the antagonism of this reality, or going against whatever you've chosen. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and not create all that? Right, Wrong, Good, Bad, Papa, My Church, Boys, and Beyond. And it's very interesting. We've got to take a quick break. When we come back, I love following the energy, see where this goes, and I've completely turned away from my notes, and we're on to this. It's like, when we come back from this break, let's take a look at, further explore this little bit about how it's like, are you willing to be too much? Yes. Well, how much of that is actually a resistance to this reality? Okay. If you weren't resisting, what would you actually choose, and what would you actually be? All right. So, everything that is. All right. When we come back, we will take a quick little expression of that. This is Donnielle. This is Right By For You on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body For You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body For You energetic tools to change their body, and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body For You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. This is your body tour guide and your host for today. And just a little tip to all of you who are doing a radio program. Do not take a drink of liquid as soon as the host says, and here's your host. Because you know what happens then? You have to swallow, and then there's a silent moment, and your producers go, is she coming back? So, just a tip from me to you. I can't imagine what just created that awareness. All right, so one thing, I would like to invite you guys to, my producers are laughing at me in the chat room. If you guys have never joined in on a live show in the chat room, please do. You know, all the shows on a2zen.fm has this amazing ability to have this live chat room. It's where people ask questions, people make comments, and you can interact. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. You just go to a2zen.fm, and on the top there's a chat room button, and then you put in a name or, hey, whatever name you want, and in the R. And it's fun. You can listen to the show and make comments. It's kind of like being the peanut gallery. You guys have heard of that, right? All right. So, I would like to invite you, starting on October 15th, I think it is. Let me double check. I think it's starting October 15th. I would like to invite you and your body to 30 days of nurturing. Okay? So whatever that is. You know, we originally created this where energy spoke to us as a way, it's like, it's going to be the 4 weeks leading into, in the U.S. and a lot of parts of the world, the holiday season. You know, we're finishing it up right before Thanksgiving. And the reasons I wanted to do this right before leading into the holiday season is I wanted to give you guys as many tools as you can getting into the holiday season with your body so that you can go into the holiday season enjoying your body. Being able to not let your family affect you, and a number of things like that. And the 30 days of nurturing has actually taken on a much broader thing, because we're in a lot of countries like Turkey, who they're like, we don't care about the holiday season. December is just a regular month for us, you know. And so it's so much more than that. It's like, what would you and your body and your life be like if you nurtured you and your body every day? Okay, so we're taking 30 days for this, 30 days in a row, and there's 4 or 5 telecalls with me, so like basically one each week, and each day you'll receive in your email an audio clearing, a clip, just an activity, something to do that day, to run that day, something that would nurture you and your body and your life for 30 days in a row, and you would get that from me. And I love this because the cost of it is $300, so it's $10 a day, $10 US a day, and, you know, country equivalency. And it's like, how Is $10 too much? Too much? You like that? Is $10 too much to spend on you and your body and your life, nurturing it that day? You know, it's like, well, how much did you spend on breakfast? How much did you spend on lunch? Would you be willing to spend that also on nurturing your body? So that starts like really soon. I am so excited for this. It starts in a couple weeks. Wow, how's it get better than that? And so we have a lot of fun stuff planned. So I highly recommend checking it out. DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com. Sign up and get more information. But it'll be a lot of fun. So, okay. Too much. Are you willing to be too much? And you know, a lot of people, when they say that, I ask, are you willing to be too much? And they're like, yes. It's like, okay, I want you guys to look at the energy of that. Because one of the greatest tools I can ever share with you guys is to be aware of the energy underneath the words, energy underneath the actions, energy underneath looks, you know, really, really be aware of what's really going on. Listen to what they're saying, yes, but really listen, you know, it's like, you know, listen to 10% of what they say and 90% energy of what is really being said. Okay, so you also want to start doing this with you, what you're saying. Because so when you say, are you willing to be too much? And you go, yes. If you take a moment and stop there, what kind of things comes up to your awareness? You know, when I first started doing this, it's like, yeah, it's like they would ask me, are you willing to be too much? I'm like, yes, I will be different than my family. Oh. So is that really choosing to be you? Choosing to be the invitation to something different, or is that choosing against my family? Okay, it's choosing against my family. And here's a fun thing, you guys. I know I'm a little twisted that I can think this stuff is fun, but here's the fun thing about choosing against whatever it is. You can only choose against something you have already judged and decided is inevitable. Okay. So in that case, when I say something like, yes, I will be different than my family, I am saying somewhere being my family is inevitable, okay? And so I have to fight against that. And so how much of the fighting against it actually maintains the fight for? I believe I did a show on that a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to say yes. I did that a couple of weeks ago because I can't remember what it was. But we had a process, something that came up. It's like, what stupidity are you using for the cause that maintain? It's like, it was basically, I can't remember the process exactly, but it's, what are you, basically it's like everywhere you're maintaining the cause of the fight for the fight itself. Oh, it was on a teleseries. Sorry. It was on a teleseries. It was pretty cool. And it was like and during the next commercial break, I'll see if I can find it. Everywhere so I'll just, a new one. So what stupidity are you using to maintain and entrain? What stupidity of the fight are you using to maintain and entrain the cause of the fight that you're choosing? That was actually the process. So everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, with black and white, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? And when I use the stupidity process, I am not talking about uneducated. I am actually talking about where you turn off your awareness. Okay? Things like, if you put I will repeat. Sorry, let's read the question in the chat room. I will repeat it. So the stupidity is anywhere you turn off your awareness. So like things like, if you put your hand in a pot of boiling water that you're going to get burned, and you do it anyways, okay? You know that, you're like, oh, that'll be fun. Let me do that. And so you put your hand in a pot of boiling water, okay? That's the stupidity I'm talking about. So what stupidity, and now that I've said all that, I'm going to change it to vital. And vital, I follow the energy. As in the workshop this weekend, I kept joking and it kept breeding is I am energy's bitch. I will go where it tells me to. So we're going to change it to vital now. And what that usually means is like if you start off with one process and it goes to another, that you guys are starting to clear whatever that other energy was, which, yay, how's it other than that? Things are clearing. So when you use a vital process, it's like anything you have made very, 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 very important in your life, you are not willing to get rid of, and it's easy to look at things like I have made my family very important. I love them. I'm so grateful for them. And it's like, where have I made them so vital that I wouldn't be willing to let them go? And it's not that you have to walk away from your family, but it's like anything you've made so vital, you tend to keep in one scenario, one phase, so that even they can change, okay? So that's what the vital is. Like, what have you made so important that you're not allowing it to change? So what have you made so vital about the fight that maintains and entrains the cause of the fight that you are choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, apoc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Yes, somebody's in the chat room. I think I've made so important in my life brought me here. Absolutely. That doesn't mean that it's not. You can have important things, and if you've made it vital to where you're not actually willing for it to change, that is where you create the limitation. I have important things in my life. I love things in my life, and I'm also willing for them to change, to grow, to evolve. So you really got to look at the energy behind it. Have you made it so important that it's not changing, or have you made it important as a way to create and generate your life? Okay? So one more time with the process. What have you made so vital about the fight that maintains and entrains the cause of the fight that you are choosing? Okay? Everything that is times the godzillion, would you go and destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, apoc, alliance, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? When we're talking about this, it's like, what have you made so vital about the fight? Whether you've said or whether it's said or unsaid, acknowledged or unacknowledged, how many of us live our lives from the fight to stay alive, the fight to lose weight, the fight to get healthy, the fight against our body, the fight against our family, the fight against the fight against society, the fight against this reality, which tells us that we have to be too much. And only if in that we are too much, then we know who we are and we be, because we are too much against this reality instead of just choosing to be who we are. I know. Everything that brings up, everything that makes your head spin on that one, destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, apoc, night, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay? So what have you made so vital about the fight that maintains and trains the cause of the fight that you are choosing? Everything that is, times godzillion, destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, apoc, night, shorts, boys, and beyond. It was so funny when the producers in the chat room was like, that's got a little punch to it. No pun intended. It's a body class, right? That's stuff's funny. All right. Sorry. I laugh. All right, so we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this, about a fight against this reality to be too much, instead of just, hey, you know what? Hey, I, me. Sorry if that's too much for you. All right, so this is Right Body for You. We are on ATOSN.FM, and we will be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body, and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on ATOSN.FM.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. I am your host. I am your body tour guide. And I still to this day, 8 years later, using the Access Consciousness and Right Body for You tools, I'm still amused at those times when you follow the energy and it's just really amazing. Because we just heard during the break Dr. Dane here's commercial for his Being You book, which is just, freaking fantastic. If you guys haven't checked it out, please do. But in there, he's like, are you willing to be the invitation to something different? Or sorry, he said, are you willing to be the invitation to a different possibility? And I'm like, hey, that's actually the process I wrote for today. What energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be invitation to a different possibility that you truly be? And that makes me laugh. So everything that brings up everything that doesn't allow it with ease, destroy it, uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, choice, boys, and beyond. And in the commercial, he goes on further to talk about how just being you is what changes the world. And this is what we're talking about. Being you is what changes the world, not being you against the world changes the world. Okay? Being you is the place where you get to invite people to that different possibility, not a better possibility, because then you're saying that your way is the only correct way. That would be me like saying, oh, you're still being a Mormon? That's wrong. Absolutely not. There are so many members of my family who, just carry through this example of the Mormonism thing, that being a Mormon is the greatest gift for them and for the world through them. And so why would that be a wrongness in any way? So this isn't about finding being too much and just against everything else or everything. It's interesting how we think being too much has to look the same for everybody else. That's not what it is. It's being you is really the too much for this world. So when we're asking, are you willing to be too much? We're not asking you if you're willing to be against this reality. We're asking you if you would be willing to be you, no matter what that looks like, even if nobody else is like you. Because really, is anybody else like you? I mean, come on. Heaven help the world if there was a duplicate of anybody out there, right? Okay, so everything that brings up, destroy and create it. Right, wrong, good, bad, apocalypse, choice, boys, and beyond. And there are some great comments in the chat room. Somebody said, Carol, creating my body to prove that mine doesn't have to be the same as my family's and ends up being just like theirs anyways. Yes, exactly. That's what we're talking about with the fight, okay? You can only fight against something you think is inevitable. So if you fight against creating your body not like your family's, you're going, well, this is what's going to happen, so I have to fight to change that instead of just choosing a different reality, okay? Let's see. Yeah, even in that we go to comparison. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how this is. It's like, and just look how the energy has changed. When I first started this call today, it's like, are you willing to be too much? You're like, yes! And now a lot of you are going, well, I know what that is. Good. Good. That is a great place to start from. So anywhere you've defined what is too much and how you be if you are too much, because then you're creating a limitation, okay? Anytime you defined, oh, well, I am too much for the reality this way, so that's how I have to be, because then if I'm being me like that, then I know who I be and how I be. So if I be anything else but that, I'm not being me. What? I know a lot of people are going, what? Exactly. Everything that brings up, destroy and upgrade it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, BOD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyond. Woo! All right. So let's process one more time. What have you made so vital about the fight that maintains and entrains the cause of the fight that you are choosing? Okay? It's the fight that you are choosing. Like this example, fighting against having a body like your family. Okay? And so that is the fight you are choosing. So it's what have you made so vital? What have you made so vital about the fight? Because how many of us know who we are when we're in the fight against something? Okay? So what have you made so vital about the fight that maintains and entrains the cause of the fight you are choosing? You know, even if it's something like having your body letting your body get rid of a disease, or letting your body get rid of extra weight or gain weight or whatever it is, just because, blah, blah, blah. Even if it's something about like getting rid of weight or gaining weight or getting rid of a disease, we know who we be with the fight that we've chosen. So the cause of that fight is not being like our family, or weight, or disease, or pain, or whatever it is. And so if we've made the fight vital, and we know who we be when we have the fight, how many of us would actually let go of the cause of the fight, which is weight, disease, pain, family, whatever it is? Because without the cause, we wouldn't have no reason, justification for the fight, and we won't know who we are without the fight. So to maintain the fight, we also have to maintain the cause of the fight. Everything that is, everywhere we've made that our survival mechanism and our standard operating procedure, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. So what have you made so vital about the fight that maintains and entrains the cause of the fight that you are choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. Why am I talking about this in a show where the topic was, are you willing to be too much? Well, because after we started talking about this, and I saw people's posts and everything, there was a lot of, because I had, when we posted the, hey, are you willing to be too much? It was like, yes. And I know some of these people pretty well who are like, yes. And I could totally see into their universes the places where they were saying yes. There was one person who said yes, who likes, whose romantic relationships are with the same sex. And so I could totally perceive in their universe, it's like, yes, I'm willing to be too much because I love the same sex. Okay. But anytime you have a reason, justification for being too much, anytime you are delineating it of why you're too much, you're creating that limitation. Okay? So all the reasons and justifications for the fight of too much that you are using, would you be willing to destroy and create all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyond. And, I'm not saying that these reasons and justifications might be a wrongness. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is if you're using it as the standard for why you are too much, you're creating a resistance and reaction and a kink in your universe. Okay? So everything that is, everywhere we've made who we be the standard for everywhere we've made who we be for the standard of the, so funny, I can never think of this word, for the scale to compare against, of, too much on top of the scale and just like everybody else on the bottom of the scale. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, clock, all night, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Cool. And somebody said in the chat room, the more you say it, the less I hear it. What's that about? Good question. It means you're clearing things. Okay? It means you're actually getting to the spaces that you're hiding from you energetically. You're revealing. You're starting to reveal what's going on. And in any circumstance, so often we want to go, all right, well, I'm just going to ignore it then. It's like if you'd be willing to step into the intensity at that moment, step in. And intensity doesn't always mean a pain. It could just mean that could be an intensity. So it's like if you're willing at that moment to step into the intensity, and you will receive on the other side the awareness of what is actually going on. Okay? So yes, sometimes as we're saying it more and more and more, you hear it less and less. Simply because you're actually getting to the places where you may have hidden something from yourself for billions of years. Okay? So cool, and keep listening to the show and do the processes over and over and over again. Because just on the other side is the awareness that you are asking for. And the ease you're asking for, And sometimes ease can be uncomfortable. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's interesting. Sometimes I've had great ease, and I've not always been comfortable. I know, it doesn't make sense in this reality. Guess what? Not much does. Really, if you start looking at, this reality, not much actually makes sense. Even the things we thought as real and true and that's just logical. Even the logical things to me aren't making logical linear sense anymore, which is, I find amusing. Fortunately, I find it amusing because it's in my head, which during the taster facilitator training day, I was kind of showing them how I get the verbal processes and everything coming out of my mouth. And so I kind of let them, I vocalized energetically everything that was going on in my head and sometimes verbally going on in my head. And it was an interesting activity to present that to everybody because they just kind of blinked and they went, that's a lot of stuff going on. It's like, yeah, my head, it's an interesting place. There's a minion quote, something about, posted on the Right Body View Facebook group, I think, where I put that you could see into my head and it was a scary and dark place or something like that. It was funny. All right, so we are at our last break, which I can't believe is already there. All right, so when we come back, we are going to give you a few tools and really look at this about what being too much really is. Okay, this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We're on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video and audio downloads, online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. AccessConsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to AccessConsciousness.com to learn more.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle. I'm your host. I'm your body tour guide. I am the voice in some of your heads. I have most of your voices in my head. I think it's only fair that I should be the voice in your head also. Everything that brings up is free and uncreated. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, talk, all night, shirts, boys, and beyond. All right, cool. You know, it's sometimes during the commercial breaks, it's like not my brightest moment to answer emails, and sometimes it is the brightest thing to answer emails. Because somebody sent me an email and said, "Oh, I know this is a stupid question, but let me ask you this." And then, you know, I instantly went to, no, there is no stupid questions, and please don't make yourself wrong and all this kind of stuff. And then I got the awareness. It's like, thank you, energy. It's asking questions is the too much for this reality that will change the world. Okay? The ultimate too much is asking questions. You know, when I was a kid, I should say when my body was a kid, because I still tend to act rather childish sometimes, or what this reality considers childish. I like cartoons. What can I say? I would get in trouble every time I asked a question. And I don't mean like, oh, it causes trouble. I mean, I was literally told I was trouble. You're just trying to cause trouble. No, I'm actually requesting information. I'm trying to see, you know, what else is possible. Even, you know, before I knew access, what else is possible. Question was like, no, I'm wondering about things. I'm curious about things. I'm curious how the world works, how life is, and you know, what will change this, what's required. And I asked questions for that. And I was too much. Because in that moment of asking questions, I went against, what's the word I'm looking for? Anybody know it? I challenged the status quo, not intentionally. You know, I wasn't doing it that resistance and reaction. You know, yeah, some of my questions as a kid was about religion, but that's because I was born in a religious environment, so I was asking questions about that. But they were innocent questions. It wasn't a question of, oh, because I'm trying to prove you wrong. It's like, hey, I require some information here. And they're like, well, you're just trying to cause trouble. No. Because when I first started Access Consciousness, oddly enough, the one thing that was the hardest for me was asking questions. And how many of us are naturally born with that desire to ask questions, to know more, to perceive more, to receive more? And yet we are shut off with that. You ask too many questions, sit down, shut up, just be quiet. Okay? So everything that is, all the oaths, swearing, fealties, promises, and commitments we've made anywhere to not ask questions, to not rock the boat, to not be too much. Truth, would you guys willing to destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pocket, line, shirts, boys, and beyond. You know, so I said in this segment I'd give you some tools to, you know, like have ease with being too much, or what that even look like. There you go. Ask questions. Not challenging questions. You know, don't be the superior bitch. Don't be the honorary, but just ask questions. And in that, it's like you invite people to more. You invite people to question. You invite people to look from different points of view. You invite people to see things from a different point of view. including yourself. Okay? So a tool, ask questions. And is that the too much that would actually change the world? Okay? Anything doesn't allow that with ease, destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys, in beyond. All right, cool. We are rounding down. It has gone far and wide. We will do this topic again. There's a lot. I didn't even get to the notes. What energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be an invitation to a different possibility you truly be? Ask questions, okay? And check out, please check out the 30 Days of Nurturing for You, Your Body, and Your Life. I am so looking forward to this series. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. 30 Days of nurturing your body every day. It would be a minute to take to nurture your body, or it could be it takes you longer, whatever it is. But it's like, how would that change your life? How would that change your bodies? Okay, notes are for chickens. Well, that's funny. My producer said, notes are for chickens. I know, it's really cute. And my notes are like 2 paragraphs, if that, 2 paragraphs of 1 line each. Anyway, so please check out the 30 days. It's ask your body, ask your life. Will this contribute to the creation and generation of your life and your body? Okay? So please check it out. And if you do have any questions about a topic you would like me to cover in the show, please let me know. Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Because trust me, I can pick out information, or I can pick out topics and talk about them all the time. And if there's something specific you would like covered, you and your body would like covered, please let me know. I would love to facilitate that. So just, check it out. Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Oh, and if you want to know more about the 30 days, you can go to Donnielle Carter, DonnielleCarter accessconsciousness.com, and you can look it up. It's Body Time. That's what the 30 days is called. It's Body Time. 30 days for nurturing you and your body. So check it out. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it, okay? And October is next week, or tomorrow. Dear heavens. I know time isn't real, and oh my gosh, when did it become October? Tomorrow. So it starts in the middle of October, so please check that out. And, as you're going on in your life, please be aware of the connection between your body and the earth. We're really big on, check out This Is My Earth Facebook group on Facebook. There's a new movement going on about contributing to the earth and letting the earth contribute to you, and what else is possible when we actually allow that. So check it out. And also check out the Right Body for You radio show Facebook page. We have a lot of information going on there, and we post the new shows, the new topics when they are, so we keep you informed there. And we also let you know about things like the 30 days. Those will be going up there also. So, all right. So check out. Ask questions. Are you willing to be too much? Every time you ask a question, you are the too much that will change the world. All right, guys, make it a great week. Make it a happy week. Make it a fun week. Enjoy your body because it's enjoying you. And be back next week because I will be. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.